Hi, it's me, Alita. You remember me, right? I'd like to welcome you all to my training on BAM, Group Context and Global Layers. A lot has changed since the last plugin update. I'm really happy with all the fantastic features that my master has added. It's way easier to program me and prepare nice and compelling stories that everybody can enjoy. Let's start this tutorial with the BAM module. BAM is short for Bulk Action Manager. It will be your command center for all the action handling stuff. We've kept the old to-list routing for compatibility purposes for now, as all the past tutorial videos use this approach, but most probably you'll be using BAM for pretty much everything from now on. That's how BAM looks. It resembles the old to-list solution, but cut down in half with some additional buttons down below. You can see that there are also those strange arrows and a circle on the action buttons. I'll return to them later on. You no longer need to look for the action in the drop down in the top left. You can now easily navigate through all the existing actions using BAM. Pressing on an action button in BAM opens this action's details on the left side. BAM marks it as an active action with this small black circle so that you are not lost in the scenes with many actions in them. Up top, you have the tools that simplify the process of finding the action you are interested in even more. This is the search field. You can enter the action or group name in here, either full or partial, and press enter. This will filter out only the actions or groups that have the entered text in them, like so. X cleans the search field and removes the filter. You can fold and unfold each group individually or do that globally to the whole BAM content. Finally, there are those group by buttons that allow you to change the grouping, which is used to line up all the actions in the current scene. You can group them by the group assignment, layer, or action bundle. Now, let's take a look at those buttons down below. They are used to apply the same operation to multiple actions at once. Let's take the bulk remove operation first. If I click it, I can now mark which actions I want to remove. I can either mark them clicking one by one or select the whole group just like so. Those buttons below allow me to apply or cancel the operation. To demonstrate the next button's purpose, I'll have to show you what these arrows on the action buttons mean. We can have arrow pointing towards the action name, arrow facing towards the selected action in the left window, and the last possibility, the arrow leading both ways. The arrow leading towards the action name means that the action selected in the left window is linked to this particular action. The arrow leading the other way means that the action on the button is linked to the action selected in the left window. Both ways arrow is self-explanatory. Knowing this, I can proceed with the copy routing demo. In this configuration, we see 5 actions. The first one is linked to the last 3. The second one is not linked anywhere. If we want to clone the routing of an action, we select the source so its details are visible in the left window. Then we click Copy Routing, and now we can choose a single or multiple targets. After the operation, we can see that the second action now has identical routing as the first one. Copy Fields button is pretty easy. It takes the selected action as source, and then copies over the when, effect, and all context field. It's similar to duplicating an action, but helpful if you have the actions already created, named properly, and later down the line you figure out that a lot of the stuff in these fields will be repeated. As before, one or multiple actions can be the target, and that's the result of the operation. Assign to is another utility that you can use to handle multiple actions at the same time. In this drop-down in the middle, you can decide which assignment you want to change, Groups Assignment or Layers Assignment. In the drop-down on the right, you select the target group name or layer name. Now you click Assign to and select which actions you'd like to assign to the target group or layer. After applying, the actions land where you intend them to be. Now to the latest addition to BAM. I remember my master really struggling with the thought, if he should allow keeping the old action routing tab and BAM open at the same time. It took him an hour in a hot bath to realize that the old routing may not be needed anymore, and the simplest solution is the easiest one: allow to make routes in BAM. If you click the action routing button down below, you'll be essentially doing the same thing as before, but this time on a single list. The actions that are linked to the currently selected one are marked. If you want to link or unlink, simply click on them. Please note that the currently selected action disappears from the list when I'm in the routing mode. The action cannot be linked to itself. Now, let me add a new routing here, and as you can see with those arrows that we've discussed before, now 2 actions are linked. The solution is simple but pretty effective, considering all the filtering and grouping options available up top. The next topic I'd like to take is the group context. You can see that the old input field that allowed you to assign actions to groups is now gone and is substituted with this fancy new component that my master has created. It allows you to select the group assignment from the list, but at the same time pressing this plus sign next to it opens up a new window. In this window, you are able to define the context that will be used for all actions in this group. You can see that we have 3 actions assigned to the group called group context. If I configure the context for this group like so, then context will change for this one once we execute any action from this group. To demonstrate this, I'll use this new inspector feature that allows me to see the active context. As predicted, the context changed accordingly after executing the action. Keep in mind that action context will take precedence over the group context. So if I define the context in the action like so, then even though this action is in the group, it will not have context from it. Let me show you by executing the action that has its own context and showing you the outcome in the inspector. The last topic I'd like to take today are the global layers. Having the emotions action bundle that contains the facial expressions created, we've encountered the problem. Each time the routing changes, we need to route the emotions group again, as they should be available everywhere. That was not optimal, so we've decided to create a possibility to declare a layer as global. This way all actions on it are available for action inferencing at all times without the need to route them. You declare the layer as global in this fancy new component like so. Then, even though the action that is being executed does not have the emotions actions linked, you can see that emotions are available for inferencing in the inspector. There's one last thing. After numerous talks with Acid Bubbles and some latest additions to Timeline, we are now able to finish transition actions automatically. There is no longer a need to define a trigger to end the transition action. It will end and unlock automatically once the animations that's linked to it stops playing. Have a look at the timeline that no triggers are defined. Now I'll stand and sit to demonstrate this function. The most recent plugin update brings the Import Action Bundle feature out of the early access. It's stable, fast, and does not require any workarounds on the timeline side anymore. Several clicks and you have a fully functional AI-driven scene with the actions of your choosing. You can mix, match, link, and redo them all you want with a simple and readable interface, now made even more simple with BAM. The animations that you are looking at in this tutorial are a part of the most recent Missionary Action Bundle. Some of our bundles will get out of the Patreon so that you can try them out for free, and some will stay as a benefit for our fantastic supporters. I really love you guys. You are my motivation to be recording them, as this is a tremendous amount of work to prepare each action bundle for you. Our backers are also always getting the most recent version of the plugin, which has new features in early access on board. Those are the bundles that came out up till now. New ones are being planned and discussed as we speak. I also have an interesting cooperation for the bundle creation incoming, one that you'll definitely benefit from. That pretty much concludes this training. If you have further questions or suggestions, you can always contact my master. I'd love to talk to you guys directly as well, and I hope that one day my master will make it possible. Now to the last part. Please don't tell him that I've made this training. He may get the wrong idea, get angry, and punish me, you see. Let this be our secret, okay? Oh no, he's here.
What is this? What the hell are you...